Right. Good morning. We're standing here in front of 80 Madison Avenue. A call came in this morning a little after midnight for an odor of smoke and fire in the building you see behind me. Unfortunately, there were 6 critical injuries of residents that were pulled out of this fire. 4 of them have passed away. As you can see to my left, it is very clear that this was caused by lithium-ion batteries and e-bikes. There is a very large number of both batteries and e-bikes. This location is known to the fire department. We have written violations at this location before, and we have conducted enforcement in this location before. So as of today, including this fire, we have 108 related to lithium-ion batteries and 13 fatalities. That is significantly higher than last year. I believe we were at 2 as of this time last year, 2. We have to make sure we're getting the word out about how dangerous these unregulated bikes are and the fact that they are here already in the city. What I would say, though, is it really is an explosion more so than it is a smoldering fire, as you would often think. And so you see the volume of fire that occurs immediately upon explosion. It can make it impossible in that moment. You often hear us say that early warning is the best way to save yourselves from a fire. That is not the case in e-bikes. There's so much fire created that it can often be too late as soon as the fire has begun. And of course, in a case like this one where there's multiple bikes or multiple batteries, that's even more true.
Rows of families are queuing up for DNA tests in Pakistan to help identify victims half a world away in Greece. At least 82 people are now confirmed to have died off the Greek coast in last week's tragic shipwreck. Most of them were from Egypt, Syria and Pakistan and had paid thousands of dollars to people traffickers. Mohammed Ayub fears his brother may be among the dead. Cradling his nephew on his lap, he says there is widespread unemployment in the area and many people want to go abroad. The family was being tested in the hilltop town of Karata in the Pakistan-administered Himalayan region of Kashmir. Authorities there say they know at least 28 people who are either confirmed dead or missing in the disaster. Another person desperate for answers is Mohammed Aslam. He says his 26-year-old son had sent him a voice message on June the 8th, saying he was sitting in the ship.
His voice told me he was worried. He sounded worried because he said some people with him had been there for months, up to 6 months. There were no arrangements for water or food.
9 suspected smugglers appeared in a Greek court on Tuesday to respond to charges that included manslaughter and migrant smuggling. The men, all from Egypt and aged between 20 and 40 years, denied any wrongdoing. Greece, which has come under increasing scrutiny over its response to the disaster, is still searching the sea in the wider area, though the chance of finding more survivors was seen as virtually nil.
Friends and relatives mourn for a victim of the shooting carried out by Palestinian gunmen in the Jewish-occupied West Bank Tuesday that left at least 4 people dead and 4 more injured. Emergency services say the gunmen opened fire at a roadside restaurant and gas station. The militant Hamas group claimed responsibility for the shooting and said the 2 gunmen were members of its armed wing. Israeli authorities say 1 gunman was shot dead by a civilian at the scene and the second by Israeli security forces, who tracked him down after he fled the area. Israel's police minister has now urged Jewish settlers in the area to arm themselves with weapons, and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the, quote, score would be settled.
Everyone who hurt us is either in the grave or in prison, so it will be here as well.
Hamas said the attack was a response to a deadly Israeli raid a day earlier in the flashpoint city of Jenin. Israel used helicopter gunships on Monday in an hours-long gun battle that appeared to be some of the worst violence in the West Bank in months. The firefight killed 6 Palestinians, including a teenager, and left more than 90 Palestinians wounded. The West Bank has seen a sharp increase in violence over the past 15 months. Israel has stepped up its raids as violence surged between Israeli settlers and Palestinians. US-brokered peace talks between Israel and the Palestinians collapsed in 2014 and show no sign of revival.